The history of New York City is a long and storied one, stretching back to the days of the first European settlers in the early 17th century. Since then, the city has undergone many changes, from its humble beginnings as a small Dutch trading post to its current position as one of the world's most vibrant and dynamic metropolises. The first European settlers in New York City were the Dutch, who founded the settlement of New Amsterdam in 1624. The city was named after the Dutch city of Amsterdam, and it was originally intended as a trading post where Dutch ships could restock on supplies before continuing on to the West Indies. Over time, New Amsterdam grew into a bustling center of trade, with a diverse population that included not only Dutch settlers, but also English, French, and African slaves. In 1664, the English seized control of New Amsterdam and renamed it New York, in honor of the Duke of York. Under English rule, the city continued to grow and prosper, becoming an important center of trade and commerce. By the mid-18th century, New York was the largest city in the colonies, with a population of over 25,000 people. During the American Revolution, New York City played a key role as a strategic military base for the Continental Army. The British occupied the city for much of the war, but they were eventually driven out by the combined forces of the Continental Army and the French Navy. After the war, New York City continued to grow and thrive, becoming a major port and a center of finance and industry. In the 19th century, New York City underwent a period of rapid growth and expansion, fueled in part by the influx of immigrants from Europe and elsewhere. By the late 1800s, the city was home to a diverse population of over 3 million people, many of whom lived in crowded and often squalid tenement buildings. Despite the challenges of urban life, many of these immigrants found success in New York, establishing businesses, building communities, and contributing to the city's vibrant culture. The early 20th century saw New York City emerge as a global center of culture and commerce. The city was home to a thriving arts scene, with world-class museums, galleries, and theaters. It was also a hub of industry, with many of the world's leading companies based in the city. In addition, New York was a major transportation hub, with a bustling port, an extensive network of railroads, and a rapidly growing subway system. The mid-20th century was a time of great change and upheaval in New York City. The city was hit hard by the Great Depression, and many of its residents struggled to make ends meet. After World War II, the city began to experience a population decline as many of its residents moved to the suburbs. In addition, the city was plagued by crime and urban decay, leading many to question its future.